Shri Caitanya Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya
Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Can someone please read?
I can read.
Yeah, thank you. Please.
The 4 Srimad Bhagavatam verses beginning with Aham Evasam Evagre 2.9.33 to 36 are the gist of the whole Bhagavatam. These are nicely summarized by Lord Caitanya as follows. I, Krishna, am the supreme center for the relationships of all living entities, and knowledge of me is the supreme knowledge. The process by which a living entity can attain me is called Abhideya. By it, one can attain the highest perfection of life, love of Godhead. When one attains love of Godhead, his life becomes perfect. The explanation of these 4 verses is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Lord Chaitanya gave a short description of the principles of these verses. He said that by material speculation or academic education, no one can understand the constitutional position of the Supreme Lord, how he is situated, his transcendental qualities, his transcendental activities, and his 6 opulences. These can be understood only by the mercy of the Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is fortunate enough to receive the Lord's favor can understand all these explanations by the mercy of the Lord.
So what is the summary of the 4 Chaturshloki Bhagavatam? Who is the center of all the relationships?
Krishna.
And what is supreme knowledge?
Supreme knowledge is knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are the entity, the living entities are the part and parcels of the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. And how we can, what is the process by which we can understand Krishna?
The 3 stages, right? Sambandha,
Yeah.
Abhideya, and Prayojana.
Yeah. So by Abhideya, by devotional service.
Devotion, yes.
By devotional service, we can become Krishna conscious. We will be able to understand, we'll be able to attain Krishna. And what happens when one engages in devotional service? What's the perfection that we achieve?
उनसे दिव्य संबंध बना के रखना.
Love of Godhead.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. संबंध बनाते हैं, फिर संबंध बनाने से भक्ति करते हैं, भक्ति करने से फिर कृष्णा प्रेम प्राप्त होता है. So this is the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. Okay. So we cannot understand Krishna by our own mental speculation, how much ever we study, but how can we understand him?
By devotional service.
By devotional service, yeah. By the mercy of the Lord.
By the mercy of God.
Yeah.
So what was the verses? I mean, Srimad Bhagavatam from 36.
Chapter 2, chapter 9,
Chapter
text
9.
33 to 36.
Okay. Canto 2,
Neither
chapter
the
9.
form.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chatushloki. It's the original verses of Bhagavatam that Krishna spoke to Brahma. And then he
Okay.
told Brahmaji, you expand this knowledge.
Okay.
Let me do this. Yeah, I think we did this verse also yesterday, right? The Lord existed from the material creation. That Aham is repeated 3 times. That Krishna is a person. He has a transcendental form. He's a person. Not that Krishna does not have a form. Krishna has a transcendental form. That's why he keeps saying, I, do devotional service to me, surrender unto me, have an eternal relationship with me. So he's a person, and we are not Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay.
The Lord possesses his internal energy, his external, marginal, and relative energies, and the manifestation of the cosmic world and the living entities. The external energy is manifested by the qualitative modes, gunas, of material nature. One who can understand the nature of the living entity in the spiritual world can actually understand Vedyam or perfect knowledge. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord simply by seeing the material energy and the conditioned soul. But when one is in perfect knowledge, he is freed from the influence of the external energy. The moon reflects the light of the sun, and without the sun, the moon cannot illuminate anything. Similarly, this material cosmic manifestation is but the reflection of the spiritual world, where one is actually liberated from the spell of the external, he can understand the constitutional nature of the Supreme Lord. Devotional service to the Lord is the only for attaining Him, and this devotional service can be accepted by everyone and anyone in any country and and under any circumstance. Devotional service is above the 4 principles of religion, culminating in liberation. Actually, even the preliminary processes of devotional service are transcendental to liberation, the highest subject of ordinary religion.
So Krishna, God, he has many energies, many potencies. They are broadly divided into internal energy, there's spiritual energy, external energy, that's the material energy, marginal energy, marginal relative, that's us, we, the Jivatmas, the living entities. The external energy is manifested by the gunas, the 3 modes of material nature. This this external energy, she controls us by this agency of the 3 modes. Everything we do is under the influence of the modes. That's how Maya is able to capture us. The gunas, they're tightly bound, like you have someone, you bind them with a rope. So we are bound by these ropes of the gunas. And then Lord Chaitanya is saying one who can understand the nature of the living entity in the spiritual world means understanding our real position, our constitutional position. And that is perfect knowledge. Only simply by seeing the material energy, we will not be able to understand Krishna. We can understand Krishna only by devotional service. Devotional Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, I can be known only by devotion. So is it that devotional service is only for particular people at a particular time or place or circumstance?
No, it's for everyone, any country, anywhere.
Why? Why is it for everyone?
because that's the only means, right, of understanding the constitutional position.
Yes, that's the only
Because
means.
Krishna
That's
is the only one.
I'm sorry.
I said the question. Can you just repeat the question?
Why devotional service is for everyone?
Because Krishna is in everybody's this thing soul. Like it is a Paramatma with the soul. So it's like the soul cannot be existent without the Paramatma himself. He's the one
That's
who
right.
created us. So everybody has that thing to do it. And everybody's
That's right.
allowed to do it. In fact, that's the will and wish of every soul to do. But we just forgot when we came here. That's it. Because of our desires.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Because we are all part and parcel of Krishna, each and every
Yeah, that
one.
was a correct word. Yeah, part and parcel.
No matter where we are, whichever country, circumstance, whichever body we are in also. So we each are part and parcel of Krishna. And devotional service is above the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. The four principles that all the Vedas stress. Do dharma, do pious activities. Why? So to can get opulence, can get money, can get riches. Why? To get sense gratification. Then finally get frustrated and search for mukti. But devotional service is higher than that. As it said, the pancha purushartha is the love of God, Krishna Prem. And we can revive our Krishna Prem only by devotional service. Only by bhakti we can revive our original Krishna Prem.
Therefore, irrespective of one's caste, creed, color, country, etc., one should approach a bona fide spiritual master and hear from him everything about devotional service. The real purpose of life is to revive our dormant love of God. Indeed, that is our ultimate necessity. How that love of God can be attained is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. There is theoretical knowledge and specific or realized knowledge. And perfect realized knowledge is attained when one realizes the teachings received from the spiritual master.
So the theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. Realized knowledge, we need to receive the teachings from the devotee, from a pure devotee. When we receive the teachings, then we can realize this knowledge. Realize the knowledge that I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. I have a loving relationship with Krishna. I have this dormant love for Krishna which I need to revive. All this can be realized when we engage in devotional service. We may think that we have our purpose is, so many different purposes we may make up. I'm here to do this. This is my calling. I'm supposed to do this. I'm meant to do that. Each of us may make up so many ideas, so many things we feel that we are here for. But the Bhagavatam says, Lord Chaitanya says, all the scripture says, the real purpose why we are here is to revive our love for Krishna, our dormant love of God, because it's there in our heart. It's not that it's not there, it's there. We just have to revive it. And how will we be able to revive this love for Krishna?
Through devotional service and
Yes.
approaching a bona fide spiritual master.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Chapter 23. Why study the Vedanta Sutra? Knowledge is information gathered from the scriptures, and science is practical realization of that knowledge. Knowledge is scientific when it is gathered from the scriptures through the bona fide spiritual master. But when it is interpreted by speculation, it is mental concoction. By scientifically understanding the scriptural information through the bona fide spiritual master, one learns by one's own realization the truths of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is different from material manifestations, and it is above the reactions of matter. Unless one scientifically understands the spiritual form of the personality of Godhead, one becomes an impersonalist. The example comparing the Lord and the material manifestations to the sun and the sunshine is often given. The sunshine is in itself is illumination, but that illumination is different from the sun. Yet the sun and the sunshine are not differently situated, for without the sun there can be no sunshine, and without sunshine there is no meaning to the word sun.
So knowledge, yeah, we can get knowledge from the scriptures. But Lord Chaitanya is saying what is science is to realize that knowledge. Because only theoretical knowledge is not going to get us anywhere. Because it's just in theory. But we need to have a realization of that knowledge. That's why it's called science of self-realization. And how will we be able to realize that knowledge? Only when we receive the knowledge through the pure devotee. When we hear this knowledge from the pure devotee, then gradually, we will be able to realize this knowledge of Krishna, of our own our constitutional position that I am a part of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna, our eternal loving relationship with Krishna. All this knowledge can be realized by us when we are receiving it from the pure devotee. But if we are simply going to hear it from someone who's just speaking some mental imagination or interpretation, we will never be able to realize that knowledge. It is never going to be revealed to us. Transcendental knowledge is revealed to us. Krishna reveals this knowledge to us. He's Paramatma in our heart. He's the one. He says, from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So Krishna is the one to reveal this. We engage in devotional service, Krishna reveals this knowledge to us. So we have to understand that Krishna's form, is Krishna's form material? Is it made up of this blood and skin, like this, how this form that we have?
No,
No. What is Krishna's form?
transcendental,
That's
spiritual.
right. Spiritual, yes. Yes. And we can give that evidence. Lord Brahma, what does he say? That evidence from Lord Brahma, he says, Ishvara Parama.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karan.
Yeah, he says Satchidananda Vigraha.
Hmm.
Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the original form. Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is transcendental. Krishna himself is also saying in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 6, my form is transcendental. This is what we have to understand. Krishna's form is transcendental. So is Krishna subject to laws of karma?
No.
No, that's right. Yeah, he's not subject to laws of karma. He's not in a material body. He's not under the control of the modes of nature. His form is spiritual. We have to understand this. By understanding it, Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyama. You understand this and then Tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mameti sarjana. You don't need to come back to this material world. Can go back to Godhead. So what is the example here? What's this example given of sun and sunshine? How do we explain and understand it?
If there is sun, the sun is the Supreme Lord, and the sunshine, the rays,
Mhm.
is the energy that comes
Mhm.
from God. So without a sun, there will definitely be no sunshine. There cannot be sunshine. They are the same, but then they're different also.
Yes. Yes. Same, how same?
Because the sun and the sunshine
Mhm.
is in quality is the same.
Yes. Heat and light, right? Both
Yeah.
the sun and sunshine, both are giving heat and light. Then how is it different?
The sunshine is part of it.
Yeah.
Of
So
this.
the heat and light of the sunshine is very less compared to the heat and light coming from the sun, right?
Yes.
So the sunshine is the energy of the sun, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, how can we explain this relationship between Krishna and us?
The living entity is part and parcel of God, of Krishna. So we cannot be the same in
Mhm.
in quantity, but quality wise. Yeah, Satchitananda.
Yeah, thank you.
This is part and parcel.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Quantity, we are Anu. Anu.
Yeah.
We are very tiny, atomic. And Krishna is Vibhu. It's the Supreme Lord. He's unlimited. But yes, Satchidananda. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Unless one is freed from the influence of the material energy, he cannot understand the Supreme Lord and his different energies. No, nor can one who is captivated by the spell of material energy understand the spiritual form of the Supreme Lord. Unless there is realization of the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no question of love of God. And without love of God, there is no perfection of human life. Just as the five gross elements of nature, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, are both within and without all living beings in this world. The Supreme Lord is both inside and outside this existence, and those who are his devotees can realize this.
So Prabhupada would say when we are saying love God, means we have to know him, then only we'll be able to love him, no? If we don't know him, how can we? There's a question of love. So here, Lord Chaitanya is saying that it's on the liberated platform now, unless one is freed from influence of material energy. Means liberated platform beyond the modes of nature. He's already understood that he's not this body, he's the spirit soul. Then he can understand Krishna's form completely. I mean, what completely, well, nobody can completely understand Krishna, but to whatever degree that Krishna can allow us to understand. Can realize that Krishna's form is spiritual. It's not material. The realization is there. And then one progresses further and further, and devotional service continues to hear and chant. Not only the devotee does not stop once he has realized that the Lord has a spiritual form. No, he continues his devotional service and awakens his love for Krishna. Yeah. So here, five gross elements, namely earth, water, air, fire, ether, are both within and without all living beings. Our bodies are made of these five elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether. And this material world is also made of these five elements, isn't it? Everything is a combination and permutation of these elements. So the Supreme Lord is inside and outside. How? In the Paramatma.
He's inside as Paramatma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's inside as Paramatma. He's also outside as Paramatma. He's inside the atom of every living atom also, this material universe. And of course, he himself personally, he is in Golok Vrindavan. So in that way also we can say he's inside and outside.
Okay. Pure devotees know very well that they are meant to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that all things that exist constitute the means by which they can serve the Lord. Therefore, because a pure devotee has been blessed by the Supreme Lord from within the core of his heart, wherever he looks, he sees the Lord and nothing more. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.55 confirms this relationship between the pure devotee and the Supreme Lord as follows. Visirjati hridayam na yasya sakshat dharir avashabhito api agau ganasha pranaya rashanaya gihi padmaha sa bhavati bhagavat pradhana uktaha. If a person's heart is always tied to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord with the rope of love, the Lord does not leave him. Indeed, even if his remembrance is not perfect, he is to be considered a first-class devotee. An example of this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, that 10.30.4. When the gopis assemble for their Ras dance with Krishna, Krishna apparently left them. Consequently, they began to chant the holy name of Krishna, and being overwhelmed with madness, inquired about Krishna from the flowers and creepers in the forest. Krishna is like the sky. He is situated everywhere.
So then Lord Chaitanya is continuing to say the pure devotees, they have completely understood they're part and parcel of Krishna. So they've understood that the serving propensity that each of us have, each of us has this. We're always serving, right? We are serving each other. A is serving B, B is serving C, like that Prabhupada says. We're all serving. So, but the pure devotee knows that he needs to serve the Supreme Lord. And he also understands that everything that exists is meant to be utilized in the service of Krishna. He does not artificially renounce the world. That no, I don't want opulence. I don't want money. If he gets money, he'll use it to serve Krishna. If he gets opulence, he'll use it to serve Krishna. If he gets flowers, he'll use it to serve Krishna. If he gets food, he's gonna use it to offer it to Krishna. Everything and anything he sees, he understands it's for service of Krishna. He gets the internet, he'll use it to serve Krishna. Like that. So the pure devotee has the blessings of Krishna, and so he's revived his love for Krishna. Lord Brahma says, Premanjana Charito Bhakti Vilochanena. When we anoint our eyes with the salve of love, we will be able to see Krishna everywhere. So Bhagavatam is saying, Bhagavatam Canto 2 to 55, that when the devotee, when he has revived his love for Krishna, and Krishna gets bound by the devotee's love. He's bound like how Mother Yashoda binds Krishna, no? It's not by ropes, it's by her love that he got bound. No ordinary rope can bind Krishna. So every living entity has this love for Krishna, and every living entity can bind Krishna by this rope of love to their heart. And Krishna then never leaves the devotee. He's always there. Because he's bound by love. That's all. It's a loving relationship between Krishna and the devotee. In the material world, we may have like one-sided love affairs, but Krishna, no. He's the most loving. And Bhagavatam is saying also, if one's remembrance is not perfect, yet he's to be considered first-class devotee because he's at least attempting to remember Krishna. And then Bhagavatam is also giving the example of the gopis, that they could see him everywhere. Why? Because their love for Krishna. They can understand everything is coming from Krishna. Everything is for Krishna's service. So everywhere they are looking, they can understand his energy of Krishna. So Krishna is everywhere. And he's everywhere as the Paramatma also. We'll stop here for today.
Yes.
There any other questions or comments?
All okay.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.